Welcome to Professional Amateurs. I got a little another little mini shortcoming for y'all right quick. It's one thing in particular I wanted to talk about is legacy. With the playoffs over a week away from starting, there was two guys in particular I wanted to speak on. One of them is Joel Embiid, and the other one is Jayson Tatum. I don't know if y'all seen the popular meme or reels or TikToks, whatever the hell you want to go by, of a guy that says, "Man, I'm done with the '90s." I know y'all probably seen them, heard of them, whatever the case may be. Well, I'm an '80s baby, and I grew up watching '90s basketball. And these two guys remind me of some guys in that time frame. And you'll see what I mean once I explain what I'm going with this. Okay, it's two centers from the '90s that was both dominant, and they both had very similar numbers. But the way they are remembered now, over 30 years later, is totally different. And I'm using the seasons 1990 to 1996, which is a 6-year sample, which is the run that Joel Embiid is on right now, as far as the amount of work he's putting in, his his race to stardom and superstar and all that. But basically, the process. You know what I mean? Because we supposed to trust that shit. So now, this is why it's hard to trust it, because at the end of the day, it's all about the legacy. And he just coming back off injury, which props to him, because I thought his ass was done for the season. But I do think he's done as a superstar. But I also got to be fair. He is averaging 30 points a game since he's been back, and close to 10 rebounds again. So it's almost like he never left. So I have to respect that. And the two guys I'm gonna talk about from the '90s, once again from '90 to 1996, is David Robinson and Akeem Olajuwon. Two 7-footers, 230 to 250 pounds, whatever the hell they was. One is a Navy guy, one's the overseas dude, but he did up there. In 1990, David Robinson finished third in the MVP vote. He was first team All NBA and All Defense. He was an All Star. He was second in Defensive Player of the Year. In 91-92, he was third in MVP, first team All NBA and All Defense again, while being an All Star, and he won Defensive Player of the Year. In 92-93, he was sixth in MVP, third team All NBA, second team All Defense, All Star again, second in Defensive Player of the Year award. 93-94, he was second in MVP, second team All NBA, second team All Defense, All Star again, and finished second in Defensive Player of the Year award again. 94-95, he won the MVP. He was first team All NBA, first team All Defense, and he was fourth in Defensive Player of the Year. And in 95-96, he was second in MVP, first team All NBA, first team All Defense, All Star, and finished fourth in Defensive Player of the Year. In 93-94, the Spurs won 55 games. 94-95, they won 62 games. And in 95-96, they won 59 games. So that's how dominant David Robinson was, even though he's not remembered that way. I say this to say this. Now listen to Akeem. Akeem Olajuwon in 1990-91 was third team All NBA, second team All Defense, fifth in Defensive Player of the Year. He did not make the All Star team that year, and he was 18th in MVP votes. I didn't even know you can go that motherfucking low, but whatever. In 91-92, he didn't make All NBA or All Defense. He was sixth in Defensive Player of the Year voting, and he was an All Star. 92-93, he was second in MVP, first team All NBA, first team All Defense, All Star, won Defensive Player of the Year. Yes, he finished second in MVP that year. It was to Charles Barkley. No, it was not to beloved Michael Jordan, which a lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? In 93-94, he won MVP. He was first team All NBA, first team All Defense, All Star, and he won Defensive Player of the Year back-to-back years. 94-95, he was fifth in MVP, third team All NBA. Did not make All Defense, even though he was third in Defensive Player of the Year. Which I don't know how the fuck that happened, but whatever. 95-96, he was fourth in MVP, second team All NBA, second team All Defense, All Star, and finished fifth in the Defensive Player of the Year award. Over that 6-year span, David Robinson and the King. David Robinson averaged 25.8 points. Akeem averaged 25.4. David Robinson averaged 11.7 rebounds. Akeem averaged 12 rebounds a game. David Robinson averaged 3.3 assists. Dream averaged 3.2 assists. David Robinson averaged 1.7 steals. Akeem averaged 1.8 steals. David Robinson averaged 3.6 blocks a game. Akeem averaged 3.7 blocks a game. They both shot 52% from the field. David Robinson was 27% from three. Akeem was 23% from three. They both were 75% from the free throw line. David Robinson had a true shooting of 59, and Akeem had a true shooting of 56. While David Robinson was more durable by playing 475 games and Dream 432 games. The difference between the two is simply this. Akeem won 2 titles. David Robinson couldn't even make the finals as the man. So one of them is viewed as underrated. One of them is viewed as one of the 12 to 15 greatest players of all time. I'm saying that to say, with Joel Embiid, everything you're doing in the regular season, which his work is good, just for the record, 6 straight All-Star teams. He won an MVP. He's been a second in the MVP twice. He's been second team All-NBA 3 times. The first team All-NBA once, which he's part of the reason why they changed it to positionless, because he really supposed to be first team All-NBA 3 years in a row. But because of the center position shit, it fucked him over. And he got 2 all-defensive teams within his 6-year period from 2018 to now, which he would have been first or second in MVP voting again this year. He would have made All-NBA this year, and I'm pretty sure he would have made All-Defensive Team this year if he'd have met the requirements of the 65 games. And I'm saying this to say this about Joel Embiid. Don't nobody give a fuck what you're doing right now, bro. From October to April, this is normal work for you at this point of your career. If you want to be a legend, you want your legacy to be something, you got to do something in May and June. It ain't fair. It's sad. It's all this other bullshit that you want to call it. But they gave you $50 million a year, bro, to do something during these times. Your Eastern Conference stats can't look the same as mine. 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 blocks, 0 steals per game. You simply got to change it. And this is the year to do it. Giannis is coming off a strained calf. The Knicks has lost Julius Randle. Cleveland, Evan Mobley ain't turned the corner on shit. Jared Allen shouldn't be the reason to stop you. Garland and Mitchell don't work together. Orlando Magic, this their first winning season. As far as, being a high seed since God knows when. Indiana Pacers, come on, man. Y'all can't name no big man on their team other than Miles Turner. The Atlanta Hawks is the Hawks. The Bulls is the Bulls. Like, other than the Boston Celtics. Because even Miami, they ain't the same Miami Heat. Now, I know they get the benefit of the doubt for most people, but being realistic, other than Boston, there ain't no team we should hands down be able to pick over you. And minute per minute, you probably got the best player in the conference. At some point, bro, you got to turn the corner. It's on you as far as your legacy. Because as you can see with David Robinson, his accolade count is more than a king during that main stretch. But the difference is, my man got it done come May and June. Now, granted, I know people going to say, if Michael Jordan won't play in, motherfucker wouldn't have 2 rings, this, that, and the third. Well, guess what? David Robinson was playing when Michael Jordan won't playing either. So, what the fuck you going to do? Because even though I don't fuck with Patrick Ewing, he did make the finals as soon as Jordan retired both times. He went in 94 and he went in motherfucking 99. All I'm saying is, if Joel Embiid want to be remembered the way he wants to be remembered, you're a week away, man, from having to show your shit. So it's on you at this point, bro. Which leads me to the second guy, Jayson Tatum. And the reason why I'm using this comparison guy that I'm using is because when you think about Jayson Tatum, you don't think about him as a top 5 player in the league. You look at him more as top 10, but not necessarily top 5, which is why I made the comparison to Clyde Drexler. And before you laugh, hear me out. During his time, you think of Jordan, Hakeem, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, David Robinson, even Patrick Ewing ahead of him. As you may, as you should, you know what I'm saying? But for Clyde Drexler's career, he scored 22,195 points. He had 6,677 rebounds. He had 6,125 assists for his career. It's only 7 players in NBA history that have 20,000 points, 6,000 rebounds, 6,000 assists in their career. The other 6 players is LeBron, Oscar Robertson, Kobe Bryant, James Harden, John Havlicek, and Russell Westbrook. That's real motherfucking real company right there. And as far as steals, he's top 10 all time in steals with over 2,200. So Clyde Drexler won't bullshit when he was out there hooping. And the years I'm giving y'all is between 1989 and 1992, which is similar to what the Boston Celtics are doing right now. And this is why. Clyde Drexler made All-NBA all 3 years. In 1991, he finished sixth in the MVP vote. And in 1992, he finished second in the MVP vote. Yes, he finished second to Michael Jordan. Yes, he did. 1992. You know what I'm saying? In 1990, he lost in the NBA Finals. 1991, he lost in the Western Conference Finals. And in 1992, he lost in the NBA Finals again. Yes, he made the finals twice as the best player on the team in his career. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if Allen Iverson would have done that shit. But that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? In 1990, he had the second best record in the NBA with 59 wins. In 1991, he had the best record in the NBA. It was not the Bulls. It was the Portland Trailblazers in 91 with 63 and 19. And in 1992, he was tied for the second best record in the NBA again with 57 and 25. But it was the best in the West. I'm saying that to say, when we look at Jayson Tatum, we think about Jokic, we think about Greek Freak, we think about Steph Curry, we think about Luka Doncic, we think about Kevin Durant, we think about LeBron James, we think about AD. Hell, most people got Paul George as the favorite over him. And then we think about Kawhi before we really think about Jayson Tatum. Even though Jayson Tatum has been an all-star the last 3 years, I'm including this season. He was first team All-NBA the last 2 years, and I'm assuming he's going to make first team All-NBA again this year. He finished sixth in the MVP voting in 2022. He finished fourth in the MVP voting last year, and I'm assuming he's going to finish fifth or fourth this year in the MVP voting. 2022, he made the NBA Finals. Last year, he lost in the Eastern Conference Finals, which in 2022, he had the second best record in the East and made the Finals. And then last year, they had the second best record in the NBA. And guess what? In 2024, they got the best record in the NBA. I'm saying that to say, even though you're not viewed as the elite, you have a chance to have your legacy be something different than, say, a guy like Clyde Drexler. Because realistically, Clyde Drexler is forgotten. He was on the Dream Team. He was on the Five Slammer Jammers. He got all the highlights you want. He got the cool-ass nickname, all that bullshit. And nobody gives a fuck. Tatum, do you want to win it as a man, or do you want to do like Clyde Drexler had to do in 95? Get traded to a team, join a guy that's quote-unquote better than you, and then get your title that way. If you cool with that, then it is what it is. Now, I know everybody going to say you 25 years old and all this shit the third, but your window don't stay open forever. And I know they gave Drew Holiday an extension today, but realistically, he older. Porzingis, you can't bank on his health. And is Jaylen Brown cool with being your sidekick for how much longer? Because this season, with the All-NBA coming up, does he get an All-NBA spot? Is he cool with that? We don't know. And I'm saying that to say, once again, that y'all regular season work is viewed as normal work now. Are we ungrateful? Yeah. Are we expecting more out of y'all than what y'all give us? Absolutely. That's what comes with the title of being a superstar. And superstars are made in May and June. So if y'all want that crown, then y'all got to start getting it now. You're a week away, so it's time to lace up and get it done. With that said, I appreciate y'all for checking me out and checking out the podcast of Professional Amateurs 919. You can catch it on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and all that shit. I still got to learn all that. And I promise y'all, me and Maul are doing great. We still buzz, all that good shit. We just waiting on the playoff things to get seeded, and then we're going to have a show about the playoffs as a whole. I just wanted to give my thoughts on two guys before the playoffs started. And with that said, one love.